You're all out of time.
I'm Japha, and I'm going to show you a little insight into how I made my latest UK garage track, No More Love. This should have come out in 97, 98, ideally, but I was a little bit too young. Start off with this intro, this beatbox intro. Don't sample that. That's mine. And there's this like vocal crescendo coming into the verse.
There ain't no more love. No. There ain't no more love.
I love that very eerie sort of, sort of dark underground woo sound. Very, very moody.
There ain't no more love.
Love the syncopation there. The syncopation is like accented, not just with the snare, but with garage whirly keyboard sound. And it's like, it just accents it even more. It's even funkier because of the syncopation with the snare, and it sort of cuts through. That's like the first introduction there of this sound here. Very like old school sound of what we might have thought the future would sound like. But when the chorus comes in, the sort of, for me, the star of the track for me is this wah synth. It's like a sound that at that time might have sounded like, yeah, like that sounds futuristic. Mainly comes into play at the chorus.
You're all out of time. There ain't no love inside. You're all out of time. There ain't no love inside.
And the bass is like, it's such a walker, like it's
You're all out of time.
that sound, that synth sound in Omnisphere, but it's not a preset. I don't know what it is, but it's something that I heard in there, and I sort of manipulated it. I don't know what I did to it exactly, but I saved it as my wah synth, so I can possibly use it in the future. But on its own, like very... If you're making garage, I think you need Omnisphere. Omnisphere's got nice synth sounds that you can manipulate. If this means anything to you, there's the sounds and there's the settings. I mean, like, knock yourself out if you want to steal them. If you're a keyboardist, if you're playing keys, I would 100% recommend not just Omnisphere, but Keyscape, which is within Omnisphere. It's an addition. It's got the most incredible keyboard sounds, piano sounds, one I used here. What's those called? Just play what you feel. I don't know what it's called until after, when I really look. It's like, what did I actually play there? To the second verse, we break down again, but I leave that sort of wah synth.
There ain't no more love. No. There ain't no more love. No. There ain't no more love. No. Like I told you all the time, you know what's on my mind. I ain't got nothing.
So I played these keys here. Someone pointed out that's very jazzy, sort of like, again, sort of moody jazz sort of riff. Here I sampled my own vocals here. And same with this ah. So they give you like an interesting sort of sound. And even if you're not a singer, you can do things like that and make sure it's all tuned up and just put it on a keyboard, and it gives you interesting sort of synthy, odd sounds. And I like the sound it gives to this part here anyway.
I ain't got nothing here for me to hide.
I'm sure I have those vocals as well in this. Yeah, so I have it here. I recorded some vocals. Later on, I was listening back and I used sampled oohs that I had before to sort of make more. In the mix, got a bit of a slap bass in there as well. Like, no matter what I do, underground, whether it's more NUKG style, for me, I always have to have a bit of soul or a bit of funk. You always bring the soul. You never, ever, ever leave it behind. I don't care what you're making. You always got to have a bit of the funk or a bit of the soul in there. So I like these little parts here. That's just there for me. Another little part here is the sort of how it changes from a G minor to a C minor. And I like the sort of transition that happens, and it's helped along with the sort of unusual vocal melody, which goes like this.
Get too far, and you know I know that's right. You're all out of time.
So on its own, it doesn't necessarily follow as an obvious melody, but that you know I know that's why, it's the 6th note in the minor scale, but it turns into the 3rd note in the minor scale for the key change. So that E flat that I hit is in the minor scale of G minor. It's the 6th note in the minor scale of G minor. It's the 3rd note in the minor scale of C minor. So it's the sort of the same thing as a pivot chord or a common chord, but you'd say probably like a common tone modulation. The same note is in both scales, but it just sounds unusual when you're listening from the original key, and then suddenly that unusual melody makes sense when it goes into the new key.
Get too far, and you know I know that's right. You're all out of time.
See, that ooh as well is solidifying its place in the new key. Ooh, it's the same, you know I know that's why, ooh. And it just sort of goes, some brand new. That was unusual. These sort of things just prick my ears up. They make me go, something interesting just happened there. And then there's this change halfway through the second chorus where it feels like the beat changes. It feels like suddenly you've gone from 2-step to 4 to the floor. But this is 4/4, this track. It's not 2-step. But I remember hearing MJ Cole's Masquerade for the first time and realizing that it was a 2-step track that changed to 4/4. And it blew my mind when I first heard it when I was much younger. It's not so revolutionary to think that could happen, but it sounded like the whole tune just lifted at that moment. And it's just that, for me, that finished me. It blew my mind. And even though this is 4/4 the whole way through, I wanted the feeling to change halfway through the second chorus. The way that I attempted to make that feeling change was to use a slightly different hi-hat pattern and new hi-hat sounds. So suddenly you feel a change in the beat. It just lifts a bit more. And suddenly it feels like you changed, but it was 4/4 the whole time.
You're all out of time. There ain't no love inside. You're all out of time. There ain't no love inside.
That shuffle at the end of the pattern,
You're all out of time.
it just helps like start to roll things even more. Another thing that I like to do is have sounds like, I've got it here as knocks and clicks. These are little knocks and clicks that I've recorded and sampled myself. You don't really hear these sorts of sounds in a track, but you feel them. They're not very loud, but without them, you don't feel the roll as much. So on their own, they're not doing a lot. They just help things move. It's just feeling. You take that out, it's very straight, which is fine. you add it back in. It's just now it's slightly bouncy. And you don't hear it, you feel it. It's different. It just makes things move a little bit. And here there's this very, very late 90s drum fill and a snare roll that I seem to have bounced in place. It's not very loud, it's quite subtle, but you can, again, you feel it, and it's rough. Vocal tops. Very, very, very old school. A bit more of a sort of ad-libby chorus there until it goes back into the original key of G minor, and the little drum break here goes back to the intro beatbox, and I do this like vocal ad-lib riff that again is a sort of a surprise given the fact we were just in C minor, and this vocal riff is bang straight into G minor. It's a surprise again. It's just bringing you somewhere where you thought the tune was done because it's been rolling like this for a couple minutes, but we bring it back to the original key and the original sound of. Very like almost Prince sort of vibe there with the synth, which does something for me. And I love this. There's like a little hidden triplet here in the hi-hats.
There ain't no more love. There ain't no more love.
These little things do something for me. May not be noticeable, or no one may even care, but it makes me happy.
There ain't no more love. No. There ain't no more love.
Jazzy, moody jazzy piano.
There ain't no more love.
Get that sound up. I like that sound a lot, you know. And this bass here, this bass melody here, you find it in the second half of each verse, I think. Dun, 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 ba-dun, dun, 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 dun. Very like, what's the word? That note is like, it's not in the scale. That note it goes to dun, 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 is not in the minor scale. And then the next note it goes to is in the major of that key. So it's purposefully wrong. It's wonky. There's that slap again. Ooh. always bring the funk, always. But you have to listen for it. You have to listen for it. So that's a small little glimpse into some of the stuff I did on No More Love. Stay underground, stay funky.